Do we need to do that, Nicole, or you
I
got
think
that
you just say we have
covered?
a quorum.
We have a quorum, okay. Next item is approval of the minutes.
I move to approve the minutes dated March 11th, 2025.
Second.
Made and seconded to approve the minutes. Any other discussion on that? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. New business. First item, Section 2, Wards and Precincts. Oh.
from the minutes.
That's from the minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me get back to the agenda. Okay. On to old business 3.1 would be duties and powers of the mayor.
Commission President, Commissioners, this one, after doing some wordsmithing and working with the attorneys, it's what we decided to do was take out the motion for the mayor's power to veto and write in as fully set forth in section 71. So then those sections are, or the mayor's powers are explicitly spelled out in that one section instead of conflicting or not being complete in section 28.
So I didn't go to section 71, so does the council have the authority to override a
Yep.
veto? By 4 out of 5 or by a unanimous?
Four fifths vote.
All right.
As I read section 71, though, it does only pertain, the mayor's veto only pertains to expenditure of funds, licenses, and permits, though, right?
Yep.
Not all encompassing. Do we want to leave it that way?
Robert, you got any advice for us on that one?
Members of the commission, the language that you see in strikeout in section 28 is essentially duplicated in section 71. So we're not making any substantive changes to what was in the charter. We're just simply consolidating the section that addressed the mayor's veto authority in section 71 only, and in section 28 just sending readers to that section instead of having the same content in two places. That's the mechanics of this amendment. Obviously, if the commission thinks that the veto authority should be broader or narrower than stated in section 71, this is a valid question for the Charter Commission, but that was not what we were attempting to accomplish with this amendment.
So what are the areas again?
Expenditure of funds, issuance of licenses, and issuance of permits. The mayor can veto those motions, but not others.
Well, this section 28 says that the mayor shall have the power to veto all ordinances and resolutions enacted or adopted by the city as fully set forth in 71. You're saying 71 is what restricts?
Correct.
Yeah, so 71 and even 28 prior was just all motions and resolutions involving expenditure of public funds or granting of licenses or permits. So we took all that out, and section 71 says the same thing.
Did our mayor currently didn't look at this and was okay with it?
Mhm.
Okay.
Because we're not shrinking their power or her power or the mayor's power in any way,
Right.
shape, or form. It's status quo.
Okay, any other discussion?
I'll offer a motion to approve the draft charter amendment in section 28.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the changes in section 28. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. On to section 60, special meetings.
Section 60 was more language cleanup than anything. So we're removing the word members and changing that to the word counselors. So 3 counselors can request a special meeting, and then counselors, if the mayor doesn't act, then a member of the council can request or sign for the special meeting.
I'll offer a motion to approve the draft charter amendment to section 60.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve changes to Section 60 special meetings. Any other discussion?
I do have a question. The second time the strikeout is mentioned, it says that if the mayor refuses to act upon such request, then upon a call of the councilors themselves. How many councilors? 1, 2, 3, 5? It says 3 previous to that, but is 3 clear?
We can take, yeah.
Or do we need to add another 3 down below?
On the count.
I read it to be the 3. I mean, you need the 3 to start with to have the authority, so if we're going to go on and say how we're going to schedule it, it would seem like it would need the.
I think we're good.
Robert, do you have any concerns with that one? Should we change it to the 3 counselors, or is the counselors implying the 3 from the beginning?
Well, I believe that certainly the intent with the language was that the second reference to the counselors was in the same sentence intended to be limited to the 3 referenced before. But if anyone read this and was unclear about that, I think adding 3 the second time would be a worthy clarification.
So I would offer an amendment to the motion to add 3 just before counselors the second time in that paragraph.
Second.
Okay, motion made and seconded to approve Section 60 special meetings with the addition of stating the 3 counselors in the second mention. Does that sound good?
Sounds good to me.
All right, any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Section 66, procedure on ordinances.
Yeah, so this one, again, was more language cleanup and kind of clarifying, because we don't technically have a business license in the city, but businesses get licenses. And so talking with the attorney, we're looking at just taking out the word business, so anyone that applies for a new license from the city or renewal thereof, and then instead of using email, electronic notification.
Okay, any other?
I'd offer a motion to approve the draft charter amendment to section 66.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the changes to Section 66. Any other discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Section 87, Police Department.
So this one was kind of a fun, tricky one. Went to Flaherty and Hood's labor attorney, and upon coming back, really looking at the police commission as being more of an advisory body than having this final say in the hiring and firing. Still be part of that process, be that recommending body. But so that's why they took out provided, however, the removal shall be subject to confirmation by a majority vote of the police commission, disciplinary action, or other than removal. So they'll just be part of that process, hear those, and advise myself or whoever the future city manager is on what action should be taken, and the city manager would act accordingly. And then part of that, I know Commissioner Margraf brought up the state statute, and pulled that up. It is in section 419.01 under establishment. Any such city may wish to avail itself of the provisions of establishing a police commission, shall do so by ordinance expressly accepting all those provisions, and our ordinance doesn't accept these, so we're exempt, for lack of a better term, what the state statute lays out.
It looks grammatically like if I end the sentence with contractual and other legal requirements, and I think the semicolon goes, and then the next word would be shall be determined and implemented by the chief of police. When you read that whole sentence together, starting with the beginning, I'm not sure that the second part makes sense.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I have an explanation for that.
Yeah.
The words disciplinary action in your packet are shown in strikeout, and the intent was not that those two words would be stricken out. Those would remain.
Makes sense.
Okay, so the disciplinary action words are not striked?
They should not be stricken out. They should have remained, and then that sentence would then read, disciplinary action shall be determined and implemented by the chief of police and or city manager.
That makes sense?
Yes, it does. Yep.
Good catch.
Good catch, yes. Okay, with that change, is there a motion to approve?
I move to approve the draft charter amendment to Section 87 with including disciplinary action.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve Section 87 without striking disciplinary action. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Section 88, Police Commission. Again.
All right, Commissioners, this is kind of following that same suit of them being, again, more of an advisory board. So getting rid of any complaint made to the city manager or chief of police relative to misconduct of a police officer shall be filed with the commission for its consideration before considering appointments and promotions. And so since, again, we're kind of, for lack of a better term, streamlining that process, and the commission will still be part of the hiring and promotion process. Striking this out just makes it a little bit, falls in line with more of that advisory role.
Didn't the mayor used to be part of the actual commission?
Yeah, she is part of the commission, yes.
But that's not what it says. It says police commission shall consist of 3 members. One of them shall be elected chair. It doesn't say them. Because I thought when we reworded this a few years ago, we said the mayor was one of the 3. I wonder if that needs to be added or put back in.
Is the mayor a fourth person
Well,
or part of the 3?
I'm trying to remember. I can't remember either.
Yeah,
I will see who's on the police commission right now. Yeah.
Where's the mayor? Call her up.
He's at a police commission meeting.
No, I think it is three citizens. Because right now it's Adam Tolles, John Gog, and someone else in the mayor, but I'll verify that.
So it used to be the mayor was the only one who could hire or fire police officers. And that's why we dramatically changed that a number of years ago, going, ooh, I don't know if we like that because they don't have that background. And
So do we want more clarity in this?
so should it be 4 members, one of whom shall be the mayor?
Not sure why. Why does the mayor have to be? Is there a reason?
Maybe I'm just going back to the old thought of that the mayor had a lot more authority over the police department, and now they don't. Maybe.
Well, the mayor,
Mayor.
the mayor appoints the commission.
But they would not necessarily ever have to attend a meeting. Are we okay with that?
Nobody can remember, but I'm guessing that perhaps the mayor was taken out. Like a decision had been made once to remove the mayor. If you're saying we all have a recollection of a time when if it's not in there, it seems to me that. Yeah.
We went from dictatorship with a police commission by the mayor to we got to back this off.
Yeah, we all agreed
Yeah,
that
we
was
agreed with that.
could be a real nightmare.
So in other words, the idea of sitting here today and amending and adding something in like that would probably be something we'd want to put some thought into, because we should know the history and decide, why do we have the mayor in or not? If it's not there and it had been discussed at length before, maybe it's because it was decided and it was a,
I'm okay with it. I would just,
Well, what we could do is approve what we've got presented, and then I assume we could
I'm not
research
standing
that at
strong
a future
on,
meeting.
I'm not standing strong on the fact that the mayor has to be a member.
Okay,
So I'm okay with leaving it.
all right.
so I'd offer the motion to approve the draft charter amendment to section 88.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded to approve Section 88 Police Commission. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Section 101 Library Board.
All right. This is a very simple change. Looking at moving the library board from 9 to 7 members. Both the library director and the mayor are okay with paring that down to 7. No library board member will be kicked off as they term out. We'll just slim that number down to 7.
Perfect.
We had discussion, I know, in the past about 9, 7, 5. So the not the PUC, the Park and Rec, because how
Park has
many
dropped.
do they have now?
7.
I know there was a talk about not getting enough volunteers, and
Yep.
so could it be 5?
I think 5. With the library board, I would like 7 on this one. I think that's a good number because they are kind of their own entity on an island. And I think having 7 members gives a little more perspective on a lot of the stuff because none of their stuff really comes to city council.
Right,
Right.
right.
And so I think having 7 members from the public be part of that board. And speaking with the library director, April, she was fine with going down. She thinks that's a good number as well. And then
So we're not having a problem recruiting, and
no.
I'm fine with it. I'll offer a motion to approve this one, section 101.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the change from 9 to 7 in Section 101 Library Board. Any other discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Section 180 Public Nuisances.
This one was a very simple one, just adding the title public nuisance.
We had more teeth.
Trying out some stuff this year. We'll see.
I know.
Okay, so the only thing we changed is add public nuisance.
Yeah, public
to it.
nuisance because it didn't have a title.
Okay, very good.
No.
Section 180.
Yep.
Okay,
I'll offer a motion to approve the draft change to section 180.
Second.
motion made and seconded to approve the change to Section 180. Any other discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Same sign, motion carried. Section 221, Duties of the City Manager.
All right. So this one, we're looking at removing department head positions and then just only having the utility director as the only approval or position that the Public Utilities Commission would have approval of. And kind of the reasoning behind this, when you look at the utilities, again, the commissioners don't necessarily have the expertise in the different departments. And looking at the utility director, a lot of them, how we hire in the city is primarily people that have worked there, get promoted through the ranks, and then allowing the department head to really, or the utility director to really get the team that they want in there, whether through internal promotions or external. And then it really falls on the utility director, and the Public Utility Commission has the ability to fire that director at any point if stuff, that's the kind of check and balance. You get to choose your team, but you're at the whim and mercy of the Utility Commission.
department heads then selected by the utility director, or is it in concert with you, or how does that work?
Yeah, so they do go through an interview process. So it'd be myself, the HR director, utility director. We did for a while have a utility commission. Why am I blanking? Personnel committee, and so everyone kind of chime in on that. But I think moving forward, it'll be kind of the same three: myself, HR director, and the utility director, and maybe the assistant or someone in there from that department to kind of see what that fit would be.
And wasn't there something in the minutes too about needing to clarify who the department heads are at PUC?
Since we're getting rid of department heads and it's only the utility director that are there, there wouldn't need to
No, I
be
realize
clarification.
that, but that was kind of the same thing we had at the city, who were the real department heads and who
Yeah.
were considered the real department heads.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, anything else on that?
I'll offer a motion to approve the draft charter amendment to section 221.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the section 221 changes duty of city manager. Any other discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Sign. Motion carried. Item 4, new business. Schedule next meeting.
Do we need one?
Yeah, it would be sometime in January, so next year. If nothing else, if no one has anything else, any items that need to be brought up now, next meeting will be sometime in January. Lisa will send out the doodle poll again, and we can convene again in January.
So these will go, changes will go in front of the council then?
Probably on the 20th, but I'll work with Robert. So either the last meeting in May or first meeting in June.
Okay. Any other new business? Any announcements?
And
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Sign. Motion carried. We're adjourned.
Be on that mic by 6 o'clock.